We had a guest come in, and I had a chance to kind of catch up on her bio and what she's all about, and I'm really excited to speak to her. I want to take a break. We come back. Christine Handy. She's an author, mother, cancer survivor. Her book is called Walk Beside Me, and her character in the book is named Willow. And I really can't wait for you to hear this story, and I want you to hear her story as well. It's all about kind of overcoming adversity in your life and getting the most that you can. It is 7:27. Give us a few minutes. We'll come right back. All right, we're back. 7:31. I love amazing stories, and I love stories that inspire and really make you appreciate life. First guest is Christine Handy. She's an author, mother, cancer survivor. Her book is called Walk Beside Me. And I'm really blessed to have you in the studio this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies, for being here.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Let's talk about Walk Beside Me. Let's back up. Years ago, I read in your bio, you were a model at the age of 11.
Started modeling at the age of 11, yes.
How'd you get into that?
I kind of wanted to, actually, against my parents' wishes, and I just kept pushing it, and I had 3 other sisters, and my parents had no time to drive me to photo shoots, but I forced it. And
rode your bike?
Yeah, no, I didn't, but I forced it, and anyway, that became my career. I went to college, and even after college, I decided, no, I mean, this is what I really, really want to do, and it became my career and my profession until I was 35 years old.
Yeah, because I was looking at some of the pictures in your, I guess, early teens and then mid-20s and 30s.
Yeah,
they're amazing. To call you a supermodel would not be an exaggeration of what you were.
I wouldn't go that far, but I was a working model.
Okay,
very successful working model.
There you go.
Thank you.
So in an industry that's all about the image.
The image.
It's all about what the eye can see, and that's it.
Yes.
Essentially, which can do mental things to a person.
Sure.
But then you went through a phase where you had an illness. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so my first illness was at 35, and I had a colon issue gone rogue. I had not a simple colon surgery. It was a little complicated, but the doctor made a mistake on the table, and I almost bled to death. I woke up from the surgery. I had a port in my neck. I had a blood transfusion, and I had a 4-year-old son and a 2-year-old son. And it took about a year for me to get over. And after I got over that, I had other health issues. So that was in 2006. In 2011, I had a simple wrist surgery gone rogue.
Okay. I need to find out the doctor you're going to.
Yeah, no. I would never go to him.
Wrist. So just a
torn ligament, and he left an infection in my arm for 7 months until my arm was completely destroyed, and ended up almost losing my arm, and had a PICC line in my arm that they threaded to my heart and pumped me with World War II antibiotics to save my arm. And then they fused my arm, different doctor, fused my arm, grafted my arm, used a cadaver bone to replace my arm. And 6 weeks after that happened, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in October 1st, 2012.
Were you still working as a model?
No.
Kind of doing anything? No, you were long out of that industry.
Not long, but I mean, I dabbled in it. But after my colon surgery, I took a step back, and I was also taking, being a mother. I was a mother, so I kind of stepped back anyway.
So you had to juggle trying to be a mom and deal with all this illness, and now all of a sudden you've got breast cancer.
Yeah, and then I had breast cancer. Yes, in 2012. Yes.
And you went through treatment for that? I
went through 28 rounds of chemotherapy.
Oh my God. 28 rounds,
which is about 14 months, and in the cancer world, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I had. Yeah, it was very daunting. I mean, by the time my arm this is no pity party. I mean, this story is about survival and hope and empowering women, because you can go through a lot, and by the grace of God, you get through it. Fortunately for me, I had 82 angels on this earth, women who carried me through it, and that's why I'm sitting here with you all today. Had they not jumped into my life full on and never left me, that's why I'm here. So it was really the power of women who saved my life, and the grace of God, and really, going through all of that, it ultimately becomes a choice inside of your brain. What am I going to do? Am I going to, live my life? Mm-hmm. Am I stay in bed? What am I going to do? I'm just going to crumble and live in pain? And no, I'm going to get up. I'm going to do, and I'm going to be. And so I wrote a book, and now I'm speaking, and I'm talking to people about it, because people need hope.
They do. And I think more than ever, people need hope.
More than ever,
there's
people need
so
hope.
much, there's so many reasons in this world to keep your head down.
Yes.
And not believe in anything. The book is called Walk Beside Me. You've got a character, Willow Adair.
Yes, that's
you.
That's me. That's
you.
me, yeah.
You've kind of put yourself in that character, and that character goes through her struggles.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Well, Willow Adair was a very shallow, self-involved person. And I'm not ashamed to say that that was me for many years of my life.
But I think that's the industry that you were in. It was all about staying fit, looking good. Your hair's perfect. Your makeup's perfect.
Right.
Your clothes are perfect.
Yes.
And they really didn't necessarily care if you were happy inside. I think as long as you on the surface, you look happy.
Well, there's no human resources at a modeling agency. There's nobody kind of guiding your path. They send you out on these auditions, and it's humbling because you don't get a lot of the stuff. But I fortunately for me, I did work a fair amount, and I enjoyed it. But yes, it's very external. It's very much about what you look like.
But you had thick skin, I would imagine.
I don't think I really did. I felt like, I put on the air that I had really thick skin.
But it kind of hurt?
It didn't hurt, but I felt like my self-esteem was taking hits all the time. And so by the time I started to have these health issues, my self-esteem had really taken a hit.
Okay.
Because I didn't really know who I was inside. And it took all of these health battles to figure out who was Christine Handy, who inside, not outside, not what people saw. And so I had to really struggle with that. What did I want to do for the rest of my life? What did I want to project? What did I want to show people? What did I want to give to the world? It's very easy to get stuff, but that doesn't bring you joy. What brings you joy is to give away, give and help other people. And that's kind of what my mission is right now.
What is some of the feedback you've gotten from women on
About
this
my book?
and hearing about your story and from the book?
Well, it's very validating.
Yeah.
My book is very validating because when you're suffering like that, a lot of people try to say to you, well, there's worse. It's try to diminish how you feel. When people read my book, they are absolutely outraged about the doctors and what had happened to me. And it's very validating, which I like. I did not write that book to be validating. I wrote that book to empower other women. And I also wrote that book because it's about friendship. It's about women carrying other women. And I feel like in the media, we portray women as catty and tearing each other down. And this is just kind of the culture. And my book is the absolute opposite of that. My book is about carrying women and never leaving them and not coming in and out of their lives, but staying with them through the entire battle. And my battle was long. So it's a good message about friendship and women and empowering other women.
I'm a big fan of empowering women. We've had Michael. We've had Debbie Seviano, Linda McMahon.
Women's Leadership Live.
Women's Leadership Live. We're a big fan of supporting women on the show. And 9 times out of 10, women are way smarter than I am. I am the first one to admit that. The book is called Walk Beside Me. Lee, what's some of your thoughts? You're listening to Christine talk here.
Well, I'm just totally touched by how strong and resilient you are, and I love the fact that you're writing about empowering each other and supporting each other, because really, at the end of the day, kindness toward each other and helping each other is one of the greatest gifts we can give everybody.
I would agree with you on that. Now, how long did it take you to write this book?
It took me about 9 months. And from 9 months to it actually being published, it was about a year. And now I'm actually writing my second book. And my second book, I'm about halfway through, and it's only taken me about 6 weeks. So the first book took me quite a long time just to figure out how to write a book. But now I'm on my second book, and it's going very smoothly and very much quicker. So
you're enjoying this writing process?
I love to write. It's an outlet to me. It's like therapy. It's my creative way, and it's a way for me to live. I mean, I was in bed for 4 years. This is like I feel joy every day writing about my life and what I can do for other people.
And I would imagine even young models can so relate to what you're going through and what we went through when you were a model. There's a lot of pressure and challenges from society to look a certain way. We were just talking in the break about an ad campaign that was by a soda company that was very sexist and very brutally sexist, how described in this. And that industry can be brutally sexist.
Yes.
And really can put a hurt on you if you allow it to.
Yeah, it is a choice.
Bring you down.
It did. And I did. I allowed it to bring me down. And that was my choice. So, yes, I think a lot of young models should read this book, and maybe they would make different choices. But, yeah, my book has a lot of hot topics also that people don't want to talk about. I mean, there's bullying in my book. There's suicide in my book. There's self-esteem issues.
Sure.
There's cancer issues. I think that it talks about a lot of things that people don't necessarily want to talk about, which I've put out there. So I think it's important to talk about these issues.
Where can someone find this book?
The book is on my website, but it's easy to buy it on Amazon or barnesandnoble.com.
Okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're talking about the book, Walk Beside Me. Christine Handy is our guest, and social media handles for you if someone wants to reach out to you and follow you.
I am on Facebook under Christine Handy. I'm on Instagram, chandy71. Twitter, I go.
I know.
Twitter,
I had to investigate
Miami.
your Twitter.
You have not?
No, I had to.
Okay, yeah.
It's under your
Twitter's
character
a little more
name.
difficult. Twitter's under my character name, so Willow_MIA.
That's it.
Yeah, so.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
I have found that at 3:45 this morning.
Oh, good for you.
I was investigating. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
If I could find it at 3:45 in the morning.
That's impressive.
Yeah. There you go.
You can find me on the internet. Trust me.
There you go. All right, so 7:42. We'll come back and we'll have a kind of a roundtable of this and a whole lot more. Stick around. You listen to 620 AM KEXP, your experts in business. Be right back. Riveting conversations we're having this morning. I mean, how do you follow Christine Handy's book, Walk Beside Me? She's in the studio with us. So glad that you're joining us this morning.
I'm
honored to
happy
have
be
you.
here.
Then Emily Klaus from JetCapital.com. I always say JetCapital.com. I know it's just Jet Capital, but I say JetCapital.com.
It works.
It works. And then Lee Lyon with Grapevine CVB on talking about the Travel Media Showcase coming up this month.
This month, that's right.
Gaylord Texan.
At Gaylord Texan Resort.
I remember the first time I went there when I moved up here. I was blown away at just how massive that property is, but
Yes.
just how nice and cool. And I felt like I was in a different world.
It is a world-class property, and we are so fortunate to have it in Grapevine. And, they did complete an expansion of Paradise Springs earlier this year.
Okay, that's a little water park on the right-hand side when you pull in,
yes,
right? Okay.
Yes, and that is an exclusive water park for the hotel guests. So you've still got time to come check that out before school starts. It is August. Lots of folks looking for a quick little getaway. So come on out and spend some time in Grapevine at Gaylord Texan or Great Wolf or any of the other wonderful properties we've got.
Of course, with
in town.
ice. Go on out there for ice.
Oh, I know. For all the Christmas capital of Texas activities. I love to go inside the Gaylord during Christmas and just look at the decorations. The team that puts those beautiful decorations together is amazing.
They get you in the holiday spirit.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you that right now. I had Thanksgiving dinner there one year.
Yes.
And I'm still paying that off, by the way, because it was like $700 and some. I'm not even kidding you on that. It was expensive. There's like 8 of us, and maybe not that expensive, but close.
But it's worth it.
It was worth it. And what's really funny is when my kids, 2 of the 3, came back with like Jell-O. I go, oh, no. You're going back and getting some sushi. I tell you right now, I did not pay $80-something for you to come back with Jell-O.
Well, and if you are a fan of smoked Gouda cheese and you get the smoked Gouda grits at the breakfast at the Riverwalk Cantina, there's no more beautiful place in North Texas to eat breakfast, and certainly no better grits.
Okay, Christine, we're going to meet next week at the Gaylord Texan.
Exactly.
We're going to broadcast live there.
Can we do that?
And just do the show all over again.
Do you have a bookstore over there?
Yeah.
You need one.
There is pretty amazing shopping in Gaylord Texas.
Maybe you should carry my book.
Exactly.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, let's talk about your book. It's called Walk Beside Me. We've got it here. We've been talking about it. We're going to do some social media on it. And you've gotten some great feedback from women. Obviously, I would probably think that's the majority of the demo that picked this book up.
Actually, men too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been over 2,000 articles written about my book.
Wow,
in the United
you want to talk
States.
about content driven? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's an important book. It's got a lot of hot topics. For one thing, which we didn't touch on before, there's a lot of interesting realities in there about doctors and how we, as human beings are taught at a young age to just trust whatever the doctor says. And that I did. And that cost me my arm. That cost me a couple major things in my life. For one, I almost bled to death on the operating table. So we shouldn't always just trust what our doctor said because he has a Stanford plaque on his wall. We have to be our own advocates, and we have to question everybody, not just people that we think are the professionals. They may have the degree. That doesn't mean they're right.
I agree.
So I think that's important for people to understand because you have to be your own advocate. And at the time, I just wasn't. So now I'm completely empowered, and I want to just teach other women to be empowered.
Mm-hmm. We were talking in the break about female-owned businesses at Grapevine. I know you've got them because you've got all these boutique shops and things like that.
We do, and that's a really wonderful thing. Is all of the particularly locally owned businesses. I mean, just along historic Main Street, several of those businesses are owned by women and operated by women, and it's a wonderful example of supporting each other. Because I think Grapevine's very fortunate to have an organization called Historic Downtown Grapevine Association, and those merchants really support each other. The female and male businesses all work together and really support each other and the city, and really work together to bring everybody up and
lift everybody up. And I think
absolutely.
We got to get your book in Grapevine now.
Yeah, we sure do.
I'm telling you, when you do a live morning,
I can give you a couple of contacts.
No,
for
I would
that,
love that. Yeah,
a live morning show in Grapevine at the Gaylord Texan. I would love that. Well, it's just definitely just reading some of the stuff here. It's very inspirational. I do see that you have a relationship with St. Louis.
Yes, I'm born and raised.
I will say Emo's Pizza is probably one of the best pizza I've ever had.
Very
Emo's is really good. I went to Mizzou.
Yay. Okay, yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. Emo's.
Yeah.
So good.
It's good stuff. It's cut.
It's a great city.
It's a crisscross cut pizza.
It's a great
Michael,
pizza.
if you're not familiar with Emo's, they take a pizza and the pizza's good, but they crisscross it, so little squares.
Yeah. It's
Which you can, instead of getting a slice of pizza.
Why is that unique?
In my, because it's just good. It's very non-traditional. But in my view, I eat about 30 pieces of that pizza. Because you end up with like a bunch of
they
little squares.
They taste different in squares. They taste better in squares.
Thin crust pizza, it's really good.
Yeah.
Now I have to go to St. Louis.
A lot of Italian food in St. Louis.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Italians there, actually.
The fried ravioli.
Oh, yeah. Toasted ravioli.
Oh, toasted ravioli.
Toasted ravioli, yeah.
We called them T-Ravs.
Yeah.
T-Ravs.
For short. Yep. Oh, man.
Did they have those at Mizzou, too?
Oh, yeah. In our sorority house, they had them. Like, that was a Thursday thing. And
how
girls
funny.
would line up like 10 minutes before lunch started to get these T-Ravs. Oh, they're so good.
T-Ravs.
Oh, you guys had toast ravioli. I went to SMU and we had Mustang donut cakes. Okay, so I think you win.
Now, what is a Mustang donut
What
cake?
a Mustang
What is
donut
that?
cake is.
Oh, Mustang Donuts is a great donut place in the University Park area. And literally, they made a cake out of a donut. I mean, it was huge. The thing weighs like 25 pounds. And we would have them in the sorority house. It was,
funny.
literally, the freshman 15 turned into much more than that.
Mustang donut sounds more like a cow pie to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, they don't have cow pies, but really, the donuts are incredible, but I would steer clear of the cakes.
Yeah. So you were traveling back and forth from Dallas to St. Louis.
Well, I was born and raised in St. Louis, and then when I came to SMU, I stayed in Dallas, and I stayed here for many years. Now I go back and forth from Dallas to Miami. Yeah. So I live kind of part-time in Miami as well right now.
Stay away from that north subdivision of I think it's Wynwood.
It's Wynwood.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Wynwood, but I'm not pregnant, so it's fine.
That's true. Well, I don't know. That's true. I don't know. Well, I just say that's true. I have no idea you're medical.
Yeah, well, no. Yeah. After chemo, no chance.
Oh, my goodness. We are just going all over the place this morning.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you came in. And
thank you.
It is a very inspirational story of sharing, kind of we talked in the break about having kids and what you tell your kids you got to be resilient in this world and not everything's going to go like you planned.
Yes.
You had a brilliant career in modeling and it's going great. And all of a sudden you get some setbacks and all of a sudden you got breast cancer and all of a sudden you got this and you got that. And it's like how you come up and shine out of all of that is a lesson that we can all learn from.
Well, I appreciate that.
So, good stuff there. Okay. In the 8 o'clock. All right, we're back. Coming up later in this hour, top 5 things not to say at work. I can only imagine what's on this list. And I probably said them all. Up next, let's focus in on our next guest. Christine Handy is the author and mother and cancer survivor and author of Walk Beside Me. An amazing story. And if you missed the 7 o'clock hour, congratulations, because you're going to get a chance to listen to her again now.
Thank you.
Okay, this is a story of your life.
It's a story of my life. It's a fiction. It's the book is based on fiction, but it's based on my life. Yes.
You were a model.
I was a model.
Now, how did you get into modeling at the age of 11?
I really just wanted to. My parents weren't totally into it. They really didn't want me to do it, but I kind of forced it. I had 3 other sisters, and my mother was very busy with all of us. But I found my way through it, and I loved it. I enjoyed doing it. It became a career for me. I did it after college, and it became my profession. And I did it until I was about 35 years old, and I was a mother at the time, and I continued to do it until I had one of my first brushes with death, so to speak. I had a routine colon surgery gone really bad, and almost bled to death on the operating table. And after that surgery, I dabbled a little bit back into the modeling, but most of my career was over by then. Not because of that, but just in general, I kind of put it behind me. And then in 2011, I had a routine wrist surgery that a doctor did, and it was, I'm sure my wrist was repaired, but he left an infection in my arm for 7 months and bullied me the whole time. And then it caused my arm to be completely destroyed. And now I have a disabled right arm, and it's fused. And 6 weeks after that happened, I was diagnosed with breast cancer and went through 28 rounds of chemotherapy. And so in the last 5 years, I've had a total of 17 non-elective surgeries, and continue to live in constant pain in my arm. But this is not.
I just saw your arm in the
story. But it's a sad story. But this is a tale of woe. This is not a tale of woe. This is a tale. My book is a tale of triumph over all of
a tale of triumph. But let's look at the modeling industry itself. It's a very most subjective industry there probably is. It's all about what someone thinks of you, and it's very exterior. But yet you deal with so many issues internally. Self-confidence.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can't speak for all models, but yes, I certainly did.
Well, I'm probably a lot of young females, and male models too, are subjected to this. Yeah. Okay, so you're in your modeling career, you've got these incidents, and all of a sudden you've been diagnosed with breast cancer.
Breast cancer, yes.
That hit you hard.
With that, it hit me so hard. Well, that was actually after a series of health issues. And so at that point, I decided my life is not worth living. I'm taking myself out. And so I plotted my suicide, and that's in my book, and that's a fact. And I decided to talk about it with people because I didn't want them to think that they could have stopped me. Because I wanted to be very honest with people and say, this is what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do it, and this is what's going to happen, because I can't keep going.
Wow.
And so I went from that to, and my friends really saved my life. They taught me that not only was my life worth living, but they were never going to forsake me. God would never forsake me. And there was real purpose in this pain. And today, as I sit here, there is real purpose in this pain. I'm here to speak to other women and empower women, and to go from that low to where I am now, to have the self-worth that I have now from where I had no self-worth is truly remarkable. And by the grace of God, and truly by these enormous amount of women that saved me, that's why I'm sitting here today talking to you.
And your character in the book, Willow, and that was a nickname growing up.
That was a nickname. So a very personal name to me, Willow Adair.
Willow Adair. And that's the character's name in the book. Now, kind of take me through very similarities between your book and your personal life, but I would imagine writing it, you've got to put a few things in there to kind of mix it up a little bit, right?
I got to sell the book.
Yeah, I got to sell the book. There you go.
Dramatic. Well, the story's dramatic in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, those are your legs in the book cover.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are your feet, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So what's some of the feedback that you've gotten from women on this book? And cancer survivors?
Yes, I've gotten a lot of feedback. I've gotten feedback from men and women. And I think that people are kind of blown away that I'm still standing. I think that people are blown away that I'm so positive now. I do have my dark days and dark moments.
I think we all do.
Yeah, we all do. But we can't ask why me. We have to ask why not me. And, I can spend my days upset about what happened and in pain, which I am. and concentrate on that, or I can get up every day and think to myself, how can I help other people? And which is what I'm doing.
And this is what this book's intended to do.
Well, the book was intended to empower other people, not just women. The book was intended to show people you can go through all of these trials and you can go through all of this heartache and you can want to take your life because it was so difficult. And then to go from that to this, it's a very remarkable story. And I think that people are really gravitating towards it.
Now, I can, I can. I should. When you decided to take your life, do you remember when you decided you wanted to do that? Like,
I definitely, yeah.
Like, what point were you pushed that you said, that's it?
Well, I had been in an enormous amount of pain for the year previous to being diagnosed with with breast cancer because of my arm. And the pain was just wearing me out. I mean, I couldn't get out of bed. The pain was so bad. And so you just get to an emotional point where you don't know what your life is going to be going forward, and you don't know why you would want to continue that life. And for me, my self-esteem at that point,
there you go,
had just been chipped away. And I didn't know how I would ever go through 28 chemotherapies. I felt very isolated, and I felt like there's no way I'm going to get through this by myself. What I didn't know was that God had sent all of these women to carry me through it at the time. And they convinced me that my life was worth living and that there was purpose.
And you had kids.
I was trying to take care of my children, which was almost impossible. And so they were suffering, and my husband was suffering, and my whole family was suffering. And my mind at the time believed that the best thing to do for my family was to commit suicide and take myself out of the equation for them. And that seemed normal to me at the time because my mind was in such a bad place. I look back on that and I understand why I thought that, but I would never think that now. But my mind is healthy now. So it's a very different. So, but you have to go through something. People have to help you get out of that because sure, I may have done it. Certainly glad I didn't.
Yeah, we're all glad you didn't.
Thank you.
Christine Handy, author and mother, cancer survivor, author of the book Walk Beside Me, available in stores, Amazon, if I'm not mistaken.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Nook.
Everything.
My website, christinehandy.com. Yeah.
And it looks like a very easy book to read, not too thick.
Easy.
I mean, hey, I'm not a reader now. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it's an easy book. It's you'll get through it. It's I think you'll enjoy it. It's a good beach read. It's a good summer
that's a
book.
great way to put it. Good summer beach pool. Lay by the pool and read that. Yeah. Love it, and it's like you said, it's meant to inspire and show people that you know what, your life is worth living despite
there is a purpose in the pain.
There is a purpose.
There is always purpose in the pain.
Yeah, purpose in the pain. All right, you want to stick around for a little bit?
Sure.
We'll talk about some of the things you should not say in the office place. Do you remember your first job? I'll say that. I want to ask both.
Well,
I
was a model.
It was a model.
11,
was that really your first? Did they pay? Was it good money back then?
Yes. I mean,
when you're 11 years
what job
old?
could I have before 11?
That's true. What kind of money did they pay you at 11 years old?
I think I started off at $50 an hour. Yeah.
Nice.
Good money.
Yeah, I was teaching tennis at $5 an hour. I thought that was great. Lee, you made your first job?
Yes, I do. I worked in a candy store. I worked in a Russell Stover's candy store.
Russell Stover's.
And it was in the mall. It began a series of some weight issues for me, actually.
Well, it's funny.
How old were you?
Well,
I was probably 15, 16.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's early, too.
Yeah. We're going to talk about jobs and some of the things you might not want to say at work. Plus, there's a reason why millennials are so quick to jump to another job. We'll talk about the characteristics of a working millennial. It is 8:41. Stick around. We've got more coming up on the other side of the break. I love that. What? That's the Karate Kid, right?
Yeah, Joe Esposito.
Is that the name of the artist?
Yes, it is.
God, I would never.
He actually had a couple other hits that made the charts, and that thing did not. That song really didn't.
That song didn't make the charts?
That's right.
That's hard to believe.
Hey, this is coming from a guy who used to work at the
I believe
one of the music radio stations.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Here's some other breaking news for you. Since we're talking about food in the break, Taco Bell is planning a launch of a healthy taco. I don't want it.
Shocking.
I don't want to eat healthy tacos at McDonald's.
If you go to Taco Bell, you don't go there for healthy stuff.
I'm not going there. No. But it's
well, you can go there for the bad stuff.
It's called the Naked Chicken Chalupa, and it's set to launch across the U.S. next year.
What is a chalupa?
A chalupa is like a gordita. It's made with like a thicker bread.
Now, these are like made up like terms.
It's made with like a thicker bread. You just don't know what a gordita is either? Okay, you need to go to more Mexican food places.
No, but she goes to real places like I do.
Real Mexican food places have gorditas. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, you're right.
The
I don't eat a lot of Mexican food.
Let me describe it to you. The naked chicken chalupa is stuffed with lettuce, tomato, cheese, avocado, ranch sauce, and a combination that is resulting in surprising customer reactions. But they're not saying that the chicken's probably not even real chicken. I would not imagine that chicken's not.
Are we on the radio?
We're on the radio. Yeah, we're like I can't. This is how the show goes, by the way. Yeah, welcome to the show, Christine.
We don't know what's happening.
Oh, that's good stuff there. You can't make that up. They do have a picture of it though.
No,
Look, does this look good to you?
Okay, that's disgusting. It's like a fried outer
There's
shell.
nothing.
How is that
Why would they
healthier?
go after the healthy market?
Well,
That's
and how
not
is
healthy.
how is
That's
a fried
fried.
shell with a ranch sauce and cheese on it?
Fried is good.
Fried,
This is coming from a
fried is
guy
healthy.
who
It's not
says
healthy.
that eating fast food as a teenager does not affect you. It's okay.
Well,
I did not say that.
You said
No,
yesterday, and I said
didn't.
Lexi does not eat fast food. You said, oh, it's not going to affect her.
And
well, fried is its own food group, really.
No, that's true.
you know for a fact, Brian, that the teenagers have a higher metabolism and it doesn't affect them the same.
Okay, then
true.
why is so
That's
many
true.
then why is there so many obese teens in the
That's
history
Because they
of our
sit
country?
around, they're
Yeah, that's right.
inactive.
They're playing video games. They're
They're
not doing
inactive.
exercising
They weren't like
anymore.
me. They weren't like out there being a lifeguard at the YMCA when I was 16 years old.
For
But you know
you.
Come
what? Yeah,
on.
good for you.
Good
but I
for-
will
and
say
you were
that-
outside.
And you were
Absolutely.
outside.
102
Yes.
degrees.
But I will
Oh,
say this
boy.
though. Fast food's not good for you. I don't care how you
No,
spin it.
it's
It's not good for you.
Terrible.
It's terrible for you.
Terrible for you.
We're big.
We're
Michael
not going
and
to
I,
get a lot of good listeners today. They're going to be mad at us.
Well, we're big. Michael and I are big fans of
I mean, we
Chick-fil-A.
gotta stop talking about
We
this.
love Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A is actual chicken. It actually
is.
had a life.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't raised in a little cage.
I can show you where it came from.
Okay, so,
We can track it all the way from where it came from.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
okay,
about
so what are
that.
the things that we're not supposed to say? That
Well,
weren't?
you know, it's funny. The article, they took it down.
I totally fully.
All right. Yeah. Well, there we go.
I gotcha.
One of the things you do not want to say at work, and I don't think I've ever said this at work, Michael, is to the effect of something I got so wasted last night.
I'm so hungover.
I'm so hungover.
That's what it was.
Not a good plan to
Not a
say
good
that
plan.
in the meeting
Well,
at
don't
8
say it to your
a.m.
boss.
I just
Say it to your coworker.
yeah.
I've never been hungover, so I don't know.
Oh, good for you.
Do you not drink at all?
I drink occasionally, but I've never had like more than one or two beverages at the same time. And I've never
I didn't know
really
that.
felt more than a buzz for 30 minutes.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Good for you.
Yeah, it is good for you. I drink a little bit. No secret.
Yep.
I just don't like. I
mean,
I just
throw
don't like
down some
having my
Jack and
bladder
Cokes
that
and-
full. I mean, why would you want to go to the bathroom every
We're
30
drinking
minutes?
right now.
We couldn't. We might.
We have no coffee. We have no coffee in here.
A listener probably thinks they
this is
probably are
water.
drinking right now.
They probably do.
Yeah.
We've gone from Taco Bell to
We go all over the
drinking at
place.
work.
Absolutely.
We were doing so
I
well.
will say this though, if you're a fan of Office
We're off
Depot,
topic.
well, I tell you what, are you a fan of Office Depot?
Yes.
Why not?
Cartridges. Yes, in cartridges.
Oh, is that what you buy there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paper.
Oh, they're closing 300 stores.
Seriously?
Yikes.
I'm not surprised. When was the last time you ever went into an Office Depot and saw anybody there?
Yeah.
That's true. It's never crowded, is
never
it?
crowded,
never
and there's
crowded.
and they have like 9 million square feet, and there's
They
nobody
do.
in there.
Right.
That is
Yep.
a great point.
Thank you.
They're not utilizing the square footage in that facility. Plus, if be honest with you, you can always go online and
People
buy
do
your
it online.
ink cartridges.
People
There's
do
no
it
ink.
online. Yeah. And everything's online.
And when the merger got called off from Staples, they put the brakes on that merger back in
Right.
the first of the year, and then all of a sudden they announced that they're closing up to 300 stores over the next 2 to 3 years to try to make up for a huge shortfall in their budget.
And Staples really pulled back a lot on their advertising. That didn't hit the headlines, but I know that for a fact being inside radio. They pulled a lot back on their
I would
advertising.
imagine, just like automotive did years ago.
I'm just so happy we're not talking about the Kardashians. Let's talk about something
we
else.
never
Oh, well, no, we don't do that.
We
no,
may-
that's,
Let's
talk about something else.
That's taboo
I think
here.
they're banned from the show.
That's pretty taboo here.
Yeah.
Okay. What else you got up on that
Well,
screen?
I tell you what, this is we talked about this before the show. Sprite.
Oh, boy.
This happened
yeah.
in Ireland. They've got a campaign that was pulled because it's what's defined as brutally racist and sexist.
You mean not racist?
Well,
Sexist.
sexist.
I looked at it.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's not racist. It's sexist.
Yeah. I don't.
If you even tell me
It's sexist.
that this is okay, then no, Michael, I know you better not. This is offensive to women.
Okay.
And it should be offensive to you all,
It
gentlemen.
should. Are
Yes.
you kidding
Thank
me?
you. Yeah, it's offensive.
Yes.
I know. Are you really trying to
So
think
we
this
got to
through?
tell people what it is. It's the Sprite ad that was.
It's a
in
Sprite ad,
Ireland.
and it was and the slogan on here.
You got to say it.
You got to say it. I'll
She's
quote.
seen
You
more
have to
ceilings
say
than
it.
Michelangelo.
She's
so
seen
afraid
more
to say it.
ceilings than Michelangelo.
Okay. Yeah.
And the other one is you're not popular. You're easy.
There's a couple more. And
Okay,
yeah.
what are the other
So what do
ones?
you think?
A 2 at 10 o'clock is a 10 at 2 o'clock.
Oh boy.
Okay, that's kind of
No.
funny, but it's offensive. It's offensive. None of these. Okay, none of these are acceptable.
No, they're all offensive.
They're all offensive.
Who thought that was a
But
good idea?
They're
Yeah,
offensive
what
today.
PR agent said that
They're
was the right
offensive
thing to do?
today in this age
No.
in
I
America.
think these would have been offensive 20 years ago.
But
I don't think they would have
are
been
in this
offensive.
day and age. They were just in this day and age.
Yeah, in Ireland.
We're not talking. Yes,
In Ireland.
but somebody pulled them.
Of course.
Somebody figured
Because
it out.
somebody saw them who was offended. That's why they pulled them. Otherwise, they wouldn't have ever thought they were offensive. The company wouldn't have.
Europe gets away with a lot of stuff.
They do.
A lot of stuff.
Which is shocking that they pulled them. Really, I mean,
But
yes,
it is
you're
kinda
right.
shocking that
yeah,
they pulled
because
that.
you're right. They do
You're
get
right.
away with all that stuff.
And there's no imaging of females on this. It's just a
No,
bottle of
there's
Sprite.
not. Which is why I'm wondering, are they really talking about women?
We need to dig deeper into the net to
That's
see if
where I
there
was
have
going
been
with that. I'm wondering are they talking about the Sprite bottle? Because the Sprite gets tipped up and pointed to the ceiling. They could be using double entendre. So, but
I see your point. I'm looking at it.
But if these are
So our minds
phrases,
are corrupt and we
but
went the wrong
right,
way.
Yeah,
well, kind of.
Is that what you're telling me?
But again, these are phrases that are typically applied to women in a male-dominated, conversation.
she's seen more ceilings
Yes.
than Michelangelo.
So
No, that's
and the visuals are just a
Absolutely.
bottle of Sprite.
yeah, that's implied.
It is implied.
it is
Yeah.
implied,
Listen, if it wasn't implied, they wouldn't have taken it off.
but it's not obvious.
That's true.
It's totally obvious.
Yeah. By
It's
them admitting
implied, but it's
guilt,
not obvious.
that was their intent. Yeah.
If it wasn't
Interesting point here is the gentleman is saying it's not implied, and the females are saying that it is implied.
No, I'm saying it is implied, but it's not obvious.
Or not obvious.
Well,
And it is obvious to
The
you.
intent
Yes.
of the ad was to be obvious. If it was not, they would not have pulled it.
And we're talking about it.
Sure.
well, at the same
In
token,
Texas.
go to Abercrombie and Fitch or Hollister and see some of the ads that they
Right.
used to. And I don't know if they're still like that.
But then again, the whole ad campaign for Sprite was called #brutally refreshing. So they were trying to be offensive.
Yeah.
It was trying to catch your eye. You're trying to catch your attention and say, oh, that's not right. They shouldn't say that. Hey, look, that's Sprite.
And maybe they accomplished just what they wanted to do. Get
Maybe
people
so.
talking about them. They knew it would last for however long it was up. And
Right.
But isn't that what social media is these days? The more outrageous, the more, again, we're going back to the Kardashians, the more outrageous, the more publicity, the more people talk about it.
And that's why I think that America has dumbed down to a point
So-
that in politics, facts are facts. But you know what? They no longer matter. Facts no longer matter to anything. It's just how you feel, and it's what you want, no matter if it's against factual evidence. I mean, and the Kardashians are to blame. Blame
The
it all on
Kardashians
that.
are to blame. So everybody should pick up my book 'cause it's very
There you go.
uplifting. and
There we go.
much
Yes.
better
There you
than
go.
all of this stuff.
There you go. Or come to
Please.
Grapevine.
Take it
Spend
back
time
there.
with your family.
Go to
Buy the book at
Grapevine, read the
Grapevine.
book at the,
There you
at
go.
the coffee
Bring
shop.
the book to Grapevine.
Right. Bring the book to Main Street Bistro and enjoy that.
Website for you at all? It's just social media platforms.
Yes. So I ChristineHandy.com or walkbesideme.net. Instagram is chandy71. And Twitter, as you found out, is a little bit more difficult to find. It's my character's name, Willow_MIA.
Is that your password on your login computer too?
It's not.
That's good.
It's not.
I knew that was
But
probably there.
But it's an ode to my favorite city,
There you go.
Miami.
Miami.
Miami girl.
Yeah, I like Miami.
It's the airport code for Miami. MIA.
That's right.
My brother-in-law used to play for the Miami Dolphins years ago.
really?
Spent a lot of time in Miami.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's a cool fun fact.
It is.
Yeah, I didn't know
he was,
that.
My brother-in-law is Glenn Blackwood, played at the University of Texas and played for the Dolphins with his brother Lyle. They played on the team at the same
And
time.
what year was this?
This was back in the early 80s.
Nice.
So
Good little fact
he's in
about
the
you.
San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame.
That's really cool.
Look at you.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that kind of cool?
That's so cool.
That is cool. Okay, social media platforms for Grapevine?
We are Visit Grapevine on both Facebook and Twitter, and our website is grapevinetexasusa.com.
Nice. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on the show
Thanks so
Thank you
much.
for having
early.
us.
I apologize. There's no coffee. We used to have Krispy Kreme on the show, but
There
that
you
was
go.
just you got
The
used to
donuts?
drink.
Krispy Kreme donuts or
Yeah,
the
both,
coffee?
both,
Oh boy,
both.
no, we didn't need
Nice.
that.
Yeah, but after a while, it gets kind of All right. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here on a Friday edition of DFW Business Today. We'll see you.
Thank you.